Hey there, Goa fans. This is Mark, DJ Solitaire here with episode 93 of Retro Goa Explorations, my weekly series in which I share in every episode one of my favorite tracks from the 1990s Goa Trance psychedelic dance movement. And here for episode 93, we are doing a remix remix of a track that I featured in episode 77. And I had debated whether I was going to do both in that episode, but I decided to let this one stand on its own. This is, in fact, the one that I have habitually played. It is completely different than the original mix. Absolutely different in temperament and style, and it is absolutely sumptuous and gorgeous and hits all the right spots for me. This is the remix of Full Mental Jackpot by Crop Circles. And I got this at around the same time as the vinyl came out in around the middle of 97. That's what I remember. Early to mid 97, I remember the Oracle LP featuring Full Mental Jackpot found over at DJ Purple Richard's place, and it just sort of blew me away completely. Super high power, intense cyber electric mayhem. And it was through another Tufnell Park trance mafia uh, house nearby. It was Emmerich, who was part of the unofficial French mafia of London. Uh, I was over at his place, and he might have brought this track over to mine. We used to sort of, go over to each other's places and listen a lot. But I remember hearing this. I definitely remember listening to this at his place in his living room and being, what the heck? Because it is completely different in temperament. It is lyrical. It is gorgeous. There's a slow burn kind of I don't know, elegance to the build-up and to the way the riffs are used. It really in a more lyrical voicing. There isn't that sort of tension and that sort of crackle of intensity that there is in the original. So it's really a completely different track. And I remember one of Emmerich's friends hated it. It was hilarious. And I just couldn't believe it. He's like, oh, I just can't stand that one voice that goes over and over again. I was like, that makes the whole thing. That's what's so fantastic about it. So again, one of the fascinating things, different people are drawn to this music for different reasons. And it's not his fault. He's wrong. But in any case, I think this track is the bomb. I absolutely love it. This is the one that I've played regularly. It's been a long time actually, so it needs to go back in the folder, but I might have played the original a couple of times back then, but this is the one I was drawn to, and I just think the structure works brilliantly. I think the use of the melodic and harmonic elements from the original serve better. I think there's a whole progression. There's a way that it all fits together so beautifully here that I just find it irresistible. So we are going to check this out now. The remix. Now, there's two remixes, by the way. One of them came out much later. I'm not even sure when this one came out or how it came out originally. Sorry, I didn't bother looking, but I'm pretty sure it was unreleased at the time that I got it. Could be wrong. But in any case, I didn't see it on a release for a while. But then later on, years later, a second remix circulated on that and then eventually was released. And I would say circulated on Dat, I'm not talking about Dat Records or Dat Universe label, right? I'm talking about like on, private trades. So that was eventually released as well. Again, different. That one's a little bit more intense, very different temperament. This one for me is just such a 180 from the original, from that sort of, again, that nighttime stormer kind of nonstop relentless kind of atmosphere It's a technical term, of the original. And, you know, this is like, I think it's like an ideal dawn to sunrise to sort of post-sunrise kind of track. So let's give this a listen. Full the Crop Circles full Mental Jackpot remix. So it starts off with a whisper. It's just this beautiful note progression, very similar in sound and harmonic content as that famous Union Jack track. And then this voice, which really sounds like an alien voice. And with that beautiful line and that bass line, beautiful trio. Very inquisitive and mysterious and tinge of anguish. Again, that repetition for me really works. And then it's going to shift direction shortly. With that brooding kind of bass line, that something wicked this way comes, something ominous. For me, it's really, you know, that regularity, it's really like the aliens are trying to tell us something. Another layer coming in here. A little bit of an edge there. And then the kick. Oh, not yet. When do the hi-hats come in? Must be the next round here. Right, they really keep you in suspense. And then, should be here. There we are. Right, so this hypnotic, you just lose track of where you are with this hypnotic repetition. It's magical. And that extra layer there. This break. Notice that chorus in the background. It's a little more muted compared to that front voice, but really important. And everything sounds like a voice in an interdimensional language. Build up. Still building. Incredible structuring. For me, more successful than the original mix because of how it leads into the main riff, which we haven't heard yet. Then, now, finally, it's a precursor to the full presentation of this melody. With this great lead-in. Still intense, but the voicing, the instrumentation here, right, is gentler. Doesn't have that crackle. So it's a lot more heart-centered, I think. Another round. Notice that other little voice has been added. Again, this kind of hypnotic loop. Like, when does the break come? There's that other voice getting louder. And then beautiful lead in, right? So, I mean, the way that the storyline, the way this riff just naturally follows that other presentation. And this is really like celestial trumpets. The accenting of that riff on an offbeat, and then that duplication, that extra intensity, repeating it, emphasizing it. Great evolution from that riff, right? The real harmonic development, melodic development, and then we have that sort of chopping intensity, right? So it definitely adds a lot of, right? It's not super light and fluffy at this point. It definitely has a lot of power. Totally different voicing there, right? Repeating that riff. So it's again, it's like trying to get the message through in a bit of a different way. The way that harmony plays out, that interval with those drums. Drums so creatively used here. And then we just get these intervals. Right, so breaking apart some of the structure of that riff. So creative. And another round. It's like just get completely lost in this beautiful combination of melodies and harmonies. And the drum build-up signals another shift. So those notes coming down, but with that chopping effect. Chord change. There's going to be a shift that takes place here. That is super important. Absolutely shifts the whole storyline. Things start softening. And I love the way this last section goes. Wow. I mean, that is just gorgeous. I just love the fact that there's this combination of exquisite lyrical beauty, refinement in those sounds, right? And that lyrical synthesizer sound and those lyrical voices, and the absolute intensity of, some of the other riffs and the storyline. So when I pointed out that one note change just on the last one, it was differently done in the main mix, and I think this one is more successful. I think that one was done on the second to last one, as opposed to the last one. It throws me off. I really think, as brilliant as the other one is, it almost peaks too soon because it doesn't build up to that main intense riff quite as much. It comes in a lot earlier on. And in this one, there's kind of a more paced progression of the voicing and the different motifs, the different sort of riffs and aspects of the track that then build up to that the intense part. So it takes a little while to get there. And it's done through that drone sort of voice repetition and that slow build. And then just the way that that key change takes place just at the end, it's like everything was building up just to that one shift in the motif. It's like you got the message, then it clicks into place, and then the whole thing unwinds. I think it's an absolute masterpiece, one of my all-time favorites. Haven't played it in a long time. Going to have to change that. And I haven't played the original in a long time, and I also do need to play that one, but very different timing. That's a full-on nighttime stormer for me, 1 or 2 a.m. This one is really, dawn kind of time, maybe 4-ish, 5-ish, or then after the sun is up or as the sun is coming up. Absolute masterpiece. Brilliant work by the Crop Circles fellas. Whether it was all 6 of them who did the remix, I don't know. It's been labeled as an Ethnica or a Pleiadians remix, which would then suggest the Lotus Omega fellows were not there. Whether the rule that they had for the crop circles, where when they were doing the mix down, everybody had to be on their feet and dancing, whether that was happening or not, I don't know. But it was very hard for me to stay in my seat right now and not be dancing to this. So we'll give this another listen as I sign off without my commentary so that you can hear all the exquisite beauty of this absolute masterpiece. So I'll sign off right now. Last episode for 2024 in DJ Solitaire's Retro Goa Explorations. I'm Mark, DJ Solitaire, signing off now and leaving you with the masterpiece by Crop Circles, the remix of Full Mental Jackpot.